Hey everybody. So for those of you who don't know, Steven Crowder is a prominent conservative, and one of the things that he's best known for is his Change My Mind segments. And these are where he goes to different college campuses. Sometimes he went to like the headquarters of Google, and he will set up a table and he'll put like something that he believes, and he'll say change my mind. Like one time he did like there are only two genders, change my mind. And I mean, just at its face value, I mean, most people can realize that this is not a genuine thing that he's searching for. Like, I mean, at no point in any of these conversations does it seem like Steven Crowder is open to having his mind changed, like whatsoever. It's never once. I've watched all of them because I find debates interesting and I'm weird like that. But he's never once been open to having his mind changed. That's okay. I just like that it was a debate, though. I like that he would have people, albeit they were all college students, debating him, and I found it interesting. It was really hilarious when they were able to best him sometimes. But it's at least they used to be a debate. But the problem is that Steven Crowder has moved to this point where now he doesn't even pretend to have a debate before. Before, people would criticize him. It's like, why do you debate these college kids? Like, there are prominent left-wing figures that want to debate you and that you won't do it. But he claims to be going into the lion's den when he goes into these college campuses and debates, someone in between, like, humanities classes. It's just ridiculous. But now, he doesn't even have people who come on and debate him. Because I'm going to show you guys this situation, and just tell me if you see a problem. We'll just take a look.
It sounds to me like you might be familiar with the Change My Mind a little bit, as far as what it is. It's not really a debate, it's rationalizing a position. Today, we did talk about COVID, but right now we are talking, particularly because of the riots right now and because of all this going on, demands that are being laid out in the public and Black Lives Matter in the public eye. I do not believe that today in 2020, the United States is a racist country. Certainly not systemically. And if you disagree, I'm more than willing to have you change my mind.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, I feel like racism...
Now, right there, when that guy said, I agree with you, that's when Steven Crowder should have said, shook his hand and said, thank you. That's not what this table is for. It is for people who are trying to change my mind. But Steven Crowder isn't even pretending to debate people anymore. He is about to have a 16-minute conversation with someone who he completely agrees with, under the guise of saying that he is, like, debating people. It's ridiculous. This guy 100% agrees with Steven Crowder on everything. I watched the whole thing. Such a waste of time. They totally agree. And so they let him finish.
It comes down to people's ignorance and not really understanding or knowing someone else with a different culture or background. And, I mean, most people I've met in Texas, like, I've seen more racist people when I used to live in the Northeast,
I did in New York. I saw so many racists. Like, you'd see cab drivers yelling the N-word.
And what, like, that right there, I mean, that's this whole thing. It's just them hyping each other up, agreeing with each other, and it's just like, this isn't even the segment, it was never the segment he claimed to be, where he's, like, open to having his mind changed. But it's not even what it originally was, where he was debating people. But let's go forward a little bit, because they get even more to the point where it's just like, this is just silly. So let's take a look.
Know about the past though, like
history.
So, people ask me, like, I support Trump and I support him because my dad does and I believe he does some good for the country. I don't hate on the guy. I don't really hate on anyone. Like I was saying, like, I have Christian principles. I mean, everyone's gonna have their own religion or belief or something.
By the way, that's the only way we're gonna solve this, is shared principles and a heart for each other and a
I
heart
mean,
for
I feel
God,
like even if you don't believe in God, I mean, even the Bible's still a good guideline to live by, don't kill, right?
So there's a lot there. There's just a lot there. First of all, I mean, just doubling down on it. The guy is a Donald Trump supporter. Steven Crowder, prominent Donald Trump supporter. What's the discussion? This is just such a sham of what he is claiming it to be. And Steven Crowder, he says all the time, he's like, I hate when people pretend to be doing something that they're not actually doing. He's like, oh, the media is always lying. The media pretends that they don't have a bias, but they're really this. Just this entire segment is a lie. But then, right there, I just want to touch on just something a little bit bigger. This idea that, Donald Trump has these Christian principles, and if you're a Christian, you should support Donald Trump because he upholds these Christian values. Right there. Thou shalt not kill. I wonder what candidates are the least likely for people to die. Let's say just civilians in the Middle East. Let's just say which candidate is really bad when it comes to that. Well, Donald Trump has led to the death of many civilians in the Middle East. Now, this is not abnormal as far as American presidents go, but it is something that he is outspokenly in favor of. He is very tough on these different. He's a very big fan of the military-industrial complex. Donald Trump is. He is a guy who, even if you're just looking at his personal life, he doesn't uphold these like Christian values that he espouses. I guess the one area that a lot of Christians would say that Donald Trump upholds this is that he's pro-life. Even despite the fact that he wasn't pro-life for like most of his life, and it seems pretty clear that he's just saying he's pro-life now because he's a Republican. But regardless, no other value like that Donald Trump upholds. I would connect to Christian values. What people would associate with Christian values is these acts of like loving unconditionally and unconditional forgiveness and loving thy neighbor and everything. These are not things that describe Donald Trump. The person that most upholds Christian values was Bernie Sanders. He's the person in American politics that upholds Christian values so much more than Donald Trump ever has. I mean, even people like AOC, Ilhan Omar, they uphold what I would consider to be Christian values so much more than Donald Trump has. These are people who advocate for peace. These are people who advocate for less conflict, for people to get health care, for poor people to get food, for poor people to have to be lifted up. That is just not what Donald Trump stands for. And I think it's just such a sham when people say that they support Donald Trump because of Christian values. Maybe sham is a harsh word because I do think that a lot of people do associate the Republican Party with standing more with Christian values. But I think that if you really break it down and you look policy for policy, if you think of the figure Jesus Christ, who Jesus Christ was, I think that it's pretty difficult. I don't think Jesus would have been a Republican. I think I just don't think that would have been the case. I strongly don't think that. And so it's just, that's segmented a little bit away from Steven Crowder, but it's just a sentiment that I've heard a lot that I wanted to kind of get out there. Anyway, Steven Crowder, he'll keep doing Change My Mind. I'll keep watching them. I like watching debates. I just watch all the debates I can get my hands on, whoever it is. I hope he debates Sam Cedar someday. That would be awesome. Anyway, if you guys disagreed with anything I said in this video, please leave a comment down below. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.